Grace and peace. This is Bishop Wilson, and I want to welcome you back to the 5 blind spots that sink leadership. And if you've been tracking with us, you already know that leadership blind spots aren't something that's always obvious. It can look like excellence. It can look like the leader that is so committed to what they're doing. But when you look underneath, they quickly drain your mission. So we've been talking about the dangers of busyness without effectiveness. And we talked about that in lesson 1. That was the time trap. And we also talked about the dangers of saying yes without protecting your mission. And that dealt with boundary breakdown. So today we're going to confront another hidden threat. We're going to dive into blind spot number 3, and that is the Lone Ranger complex. So what is the Lone Ranger complex? What does it look like? The Lone Ranger complex, it shows up in your leadership when you as a leader feel that you have to handle everything yourself. When even the things that could be passed along, you don't. You resist delegation. You would prefer and think that it feels faster if you just do it yourself. You feel like that if you don't do it, it won't be done right. Your secret belief is no one else cares about it the way that I do. At first, this will look like dedication, and it would even feel like strength. But over time, the Lone Ranger complex, what it does in your leadership, it creates a bottleneck in your organization. Sooner or later, it's going to create burnout in your mind and in your body. A ceiling is going to be formed over your leadership that can't be broken. You're not going to be able to break through because why? You're the only one holding it up. Here's a hard truth that I need you to hear. If everything depends on you, you are the limitation in your ministry, your organization, whatever you're trying to build. You become the limitation if you believe that everything depends on you. Great leaders don't lead alone. They build teams. They empower other people. They multiply themselves. They find other people and they pour into them. Here's the leadership shift that you have to make if you want to go to that next level. You have to move from being a hero to being a multiplier. You're not called to be a hero. You're not called to be Superman. You're called to be a multiplier. You're called to pour into other individuals. Effective leaders are not judged, and we've said this before, by how much they can carry, but they're judged by how well they develop other people to carry the weight of the ministry, the organization with them. So the goal isn't to prove how much you can do or how much you can handle. The goal is to build something that will grow beyond you. I need my ministry, my organization to grow beyond me. So there's 3 moves that you have to do to break out of the Lone Ranger complex. Number 1, you've got to identify what only you should carry. Not everything needs your touch. Everything doesn't need your touch. You've got to learn how to focus on what truly requires your leadership DNA and delegate everything else. Number 2, you've got to build leaders, not just followers. I know it feels good to be needed, but you've got to ask yourself, who around me needs to be empowered to lead, not just assist me? You've got to train, you've got to equip, and you've got to trust them. And one thing I've come to understand, if you don't train them, you won't trust them. You've got to train them, equip them so that you can trust them. And leadership is not about creating dependence. It's about creating other leaders. Number 3, you've got to create systems that will outlive your environment. If you walked away today from your ministry, would things collapse? Or would they be able to continue because the systems are strong and the systems are in place? Your leadership only works when you're present. If your leadership only works when you're present, that's not leadership. That's dependency. If they can't do it without you, that's not leadership. That is dependency. Listen, I want to give you a coaching prompt that you can use every time that situations rise. You can ask yourself, where am I holding on too tight and it's slowing down the growth of the organization or the ministry? Where am I holding too tight? True leadership impact is measured by what continues without me, not because of me. Please hear me. That is so important. True leadership is based on not what is done with me, but what can be done without me. So I want to challenge you this week. I've already kind of put this challenge out before, but I want to challenge you again. Find one task, one decision, or one project that you can hand off, that you can delegate fully. Resist the urge to micromanage, which is the first process of manipulation. Oh, I know that's hard. The Lone Ranger complex is always fueled by fear. Fear that no one can do it like I do it. Fear that letting go means that I'm going to lose control. But here's the truth. Holding on too tight doesn't protect your leadership. It truly puts a limit on. You weren't called to carry everything. Please, leader, hear me. You were called to build something great, a vision that will carry itself. Multiply your leadership. Strengthen your team. Break free from leading alone. Break free from that mindset, because great leaders don't just build followers. They build future. They build future. So listen, I want you to join me tomorrow where we're going to go even deeper. And I hope that these have been a blessing to you. We're going to go deeper into this. If today was about who you're involving, tomorrow is about what you're communicating. Because even with great teams, even with strong support, leadership still sinks if communication gaps begin to form. In lesson number 4, we're going to confront the silent killer of collaboration, and that is communication gaps. When we assume that we know, you don't want to miss it. This is going to be really good. Thank you. God bless.